Hi everyone, my name is Jaskaran and today I have an amazing movie to share with you guys. The movie is Tare Zameen Par. It is a movie about a child named Ishan Awasthi who has dyslexia. As I read on the website called Mayo Clinic, dyslexia is a learning disorder that involves difficulty in reading due to problems in identifying speech and sound and how they relate to letters and words. The characteristics of the disability includes reading and writing issues. In the movie, Ishan sometimes wrote letters such as B in a reversed way. His writing was also disorganized. He had spelling challenges and inability to process multi-step instructions. These are two other characteristics of the disability as per the movie. Ishan also had low self-esteem and sometimes had emotional outbursts. He had a poor academic performance because of the challenges he faced. Also, these things led him to isolate himself in the distress. All these are the characteristics of this disability. As per the research of American Brain Foundation, dyslexia can be genetic, and research has suggested that a number of inherited genes may predispose someone to develop this brain disorder. Other risk factors include low birth weight, being born premature, and exposure to substances during gestation that can affect the brain development. The early signs that Ishan's parents and teachers noticed were his low academic performance. Apart from the academic performance, he had difficulty in recognizing letters. He used to write letter B in a reversed order, making it look like letter D. He was also not able to process instructions in the class. He used to daydream of letters moving and talking. The diagnosis of the disability happened when the art teacher, named Nikumb, informed the parents about Ishan's disability. His intervention and the family and other teachers also used to think that he was lazy and disobedient, but after his intervention, everyone recognized Ishan's ability to draw and create amazing drawings. Nikum checked Ishan's notebooks and also noticed the way he writes the letters. He notices that he had confusion in letters like B and D, and also with the number 3 and E. He notices his way of writing. His letters were not organized at all. They were not aligned in a line. After deeply examining the signs, Nikumb talks to Ishan's family, and he also notices how Ishan has withdrawn himself. He feels emotionally frustrated. There are all of these are the examples of the ways the teacher diagnoses the disability. Apart from this, there is no mention of any kind of consultant or doctor in the movie. As an individual, Ishan felt isolated as teachers used to punish him for his behavior in studies. He had emotional outbursts. At home, his parents misunderstood him initially. They compared him with his elder brother, and they used to pressurize him for academic performance. His disability negatively impacted his relationships at home and at school. On the initial diagnosis, Ishan's parents felt denial. They took a long time to accept the fact that his behavior was because of his disability. For example, when Nikum was having a conversation with his family, they developed empathy for Ishan. His father, who was earlier always frustrated on him, he became empathetic. His mother was being supporting from the starting, but his father later became guilty of the way he treated his son. They adjusted themselves to the situation and they stopped comparing him to his brother. Nikum encouraged them to support Ishan. For example, earlier, Ishan's father used to say him, "Life is a race. If you don't run fast, you will lag behind." He used to put pressure on Ishan for performing well in studies. He also sent Ishan to a boarding school, which made Ishan feel abandoned. After the teacher noticed his disability, he told his parents that every child has own strengths. It is not all about how fast they learn, but the thing that matters is how well they learn. So when the parents realized their mistakes, they tried rebuilding their relationships with Ishan. For example, Ishan's father in the end said, "I'm sorry, beta," which means "I'm sorry, son." It was because he realized his mistake. The supports that family accessed were school. Our teacher Nikum used to use special techniques to teach Ishan. He used to practice various aspects of learning in his teaching. He had sensory method, and also he incorporated the artistic expression to encourage Ishan. There's also mention of family support in the movie, as they became supportive in the end. They encouraged Ishan to use his artistic talent. There were many barriers that the family had to face. For example, they had to face the social stigma, as the community around them were not aware of such kind of disability. So they used to think that Ishan was lazy and disobedient. The other challenge was the misdiagnosis, as no one even imagined that his behavior could be a reason. There could be a reason behind his such behavior. There could be a disability also. Everyone used to misunderstand Ishan and thought that he was lazy. Everyone thought that he was intentionally doing all of these things. Then the success achieved by family was giving individual attention to Ishan. They supported him and helped him to grow his self-esteem. This is a big success, as the art teacher helped the family to diagnose the issue, and they made them realize that they should be supportive. And there are many current local supports that the family can access. Learning Disabilities Association of Alberta. It is an association that aims to support children with dyslexia. It communicates with the families and also collaborates with the educators, professionals, and families to support and advocate the children. Other resources: Edmonton Public Schools. They have inclusive learning supports for children with disabilities. They provide educational assistance and psychologists to support children with disabilities. It also has some literacy interventions to encourage learning, and it creates a positive and inclusive environment. Then other resources: assistive technology. There are many tools like Dragon Naturally Speaking that can do speech to text. It can help children to express themselves. It can be really helpful for children with dyslexia. Edmonton recreational centers are other resources that can support children with disabilities. There are inclusive spaces which can offer activities like sports for children with disabilities, and children can play games such as basketball, swimming, or other such games in an inclusive environment. There are inclusive spaces which are specifically designated and designed for children with disabilities so that they can enjoy the games as other children. This movie helped me change my perspective about children with disabilities. In the end, I felt happy because Ishan won the art competition and he felt happy. It is a sign that